These are some of the significant problems with the Bradley-Bad child support calculator, where the first 6 are presented in other YouTube discussions. The Bradley-Bad child support calculator doesn't distinguish between child support income and adjusted gross income, but treats the child support income as the same as the adjusted gross income, which is not always the case. For example, child support income can be imputed, while child support due in other cases is deducted from child support income, but not the adjusted gross income, so the child support income can be either higher or lower than the adjusted gross income. There can also be some child support income that is free of federal tax, such as certain employee benefits, and of course, the Brownback Revolution has freed many Kansas taxpayers from Kansas income tax liabilities. The Bradley-Bad child support calculator has an automatic self-employed tax offset calculation, as it recognizes the guidelines concern that a self-employed person subject to self-employment taxes could have higher combined taxes than a wage earner. Unfortunately, it doesn't handle this issue very well. Consider a self-employed individual who properly reports $6,000 in income and $4,000 in expenses to the IRS. That person's profit of $2,000 is taxed as self-employment income, and that $2,000 is indeed taxed at a higher federal combined tax rate than $2,000 of wage income. This exhibit shows the actual federal and Kansas self-employment and wage income taxes for this example. First, note that in cell E26, Harry's profit of $2,000 is multiplied by 92.35% times 15.3% times $2,000 for a federal self-employment tax of $282.59. However, in addition to that tax, Harry also has federal income tax on income of $2,000, but if he has none of the children's personal credits and files as single, then his federal taxable income is $1,025.37, cell E21. Note that half of his self-employment income is deducted from his adjusted gross income, cell D14. Because Harry is self-employed, there are no Kansas income taxes, and his total federal and Kansas tax liabilities are $399.22, cell E27. The right side of this exhibit has Harry's tax liabilities as a wage earner at $137.82 for federal income tax, cell G22, $47.91 for Kansas income tax, cell I22, and $153 for his share of Social Security tax, cell G30, for a total of $338.73. Cell G31. Thus, Harry's total tax increase in being self-employed rather than as a wage earner is $60.49, cell E33, which is 3% of $2,000, and thus the $60.49 should be entered in the Guidelines Child Support Worksheet as an extra business expense. Here is the Bradley Bad Child Support Calculator income input, assuming that you were successful before the trier of fact and the self-employed person's child support income was increased from the reported revenue of $6,000 to $7,000 because the self-employed person was not working the equivalent of a 40-hour week and had unfortunately told the children in a nice little birthday note that he or she was not going to work full-time just to pay more child support. And the expenses were reduced from $4,000 to $2,000 because some of the expenses were not related to income generation or of a personal matter. Incidentally, the cutoff for the extended income formula is $15,500 rather than the $14,600. Here, the Bradley Bad Child Support Calculator is set to calculate the penalty for the custodial parent, keeping the children's 3 personal exemptions and 2 child tax credits. Here is the first page of the Bradley Bad Child Support Worksheet. There is an additional reasonable business expense of $2,406, and since the reasonable business expense was set at $2,000, the self-employed tax expense is $406 rather than the correct $60.49. Note that cell C1 total is blank. Here is the Bradley Bad Self-Employed Tax Calculation Report. It multiplies the $60,000 income by 92.35% to get the $55,410 income for the Social Security rate of 12.4% and the Medicare rate of 2.9%, which totals $8,478. However, note that the 2013 self-employment ceiling for 2013 is $113,700 rather than the 2012 $110,100 reported on this form. I am not sure how line 17 is calculated, but 1/12 of it is $406, which the Bradley Child Support Calculator considers the additional business expense arising from the self-employment. I am similarly not sure how line 19 is calculated, but that $55,124 per year, or $4,594 per month for father's child support income, is also found on the next exhibit. Here is the Bradley Bad Income Tax Calculation Results Report. That federal taxable income of $55,124 per year puts Harry in the 25% federal income tax bracket, so each federal personal exemption is worth $81.25 per month to him. But of course, Harry's true taxable income of $1,025.37 per month actually puts him at the lower end of the 15% federal income tax bracket before the 3 personal exemptions of the children are considered, which further reduces some of his federal taxable income to the 10% federal income tax bracket. Because Harry's federal and Kansas taxable income is so much lower than Sally's, Sally gets the 3 personal exemptions, but the value of them comes through the tax loss of Harry not getting them. Exhibit 7 sets that loss at 25% of $975 or $81.25. However, Harry's actual loss of the 3 children's personal exemptions is a combination of 15% and 10% of this $975, as the 3 personal exemptions from the children reduce Harry's federal marginal tax rates. Here is the Bradley Bad Income Tax Considerations Adjustment Detail Report. This $81.25 per month is multiplied by 3 for the 3 children's personal exemptions times the non-custodial parent's 47.9% of the non-custodial parent's child support income to the combined income plus $1,000 per year times 2 children divided by 12 times 47.9% for the 2 child tax credits for a total penalty of $196.59. In summary, the Bradley Bad Child Support Calculator allows the income of $7,000 and the expenses of $2,000 to be $5,000 of self-employed taxable income of this individual rather than the $2,000 actually taxed for self-employment and federal income taxes. This additional phantom income generates additional self-employment taxes, which generate greater expenses, which reduces the child support income of the self-employed individual. In addition, this system ignores that the self-employed individual gets to deduct half of the self-employment tax, as well as all of any self-employed health insurance premiums from that parent's adjusted gross income. However, that means that there must be an income tax calculation to determine how these reductions in the adjusted gross incomes affects the self-employed individual's net income tax situation. In particular, this calculation is going to generally need to know how the children's personal exemptions and child tax credits are going to be allocated. Finally, this system uses this phantom income of $4,594 per month in its determination of the tax considerations. For example, assume that the self-employed individual has no reported taxable income, but the court assigns a hefty child support income. The Bradley system calculates the value of the personal exemption and child tax credit based on the child support income rather than the taxable income. As to the cost of living adjustment, here is the Bradley Bad Child Support Calculator report when Harry lives in Texas. It takes Harry's child support income of $45,350 and multiplies it by the Texas-Kansas factor of 0.8183 and divided by 12 to get $3,092. However, there is no indication as to the year and quarter used for the cost of living calculation. It turns out that this factor comes from the cost of living values for year 2012, quarter 3, Kansas at $761 and Texas at $930, for $761 divided by $930 equals 0.8183. The most recent cost of living values released on September 27, 2013 are for year 2013, quarter 1, and the multiplier is 0.7951. Kansas at $807 and Texas at $1,015, for $807 divided by $1,015 equals 0.7951. Furthermore, note that the child support that Harry is paying for another child, $1,200 per month, does not get this cost of living adjustment. Note that paragraph C is annual and paragraph D is monthly. This is the Bradley Bad Child Support Worksheet, where again the $1,200 is not reduced by 0.8183. However, the guidelines refer to lines A1, B1, or C5 for places where the cost of living adjustments should be adjusted, although in all fairness, B1 should probably be B3. As to the child care cost tax credit, the Bradley Bad Child Support Calculator has two problems. Here is the setup for a Bradley Bad Child Support calculation. Note that mother gets the children's 3 personal exemptions and 2 child tax credits, as child 3 is too old to get a child tax credit, and both parents have child care costs of $100 and $50 respectively. Here is the first page of the Bradley Bad Child Support Worksheet, where $3,170 plus $3,779 equals $6,950 for lines A1, C5, and D1. Here is the second page of the worksheet. Note that Harry gets a $10 deduction for his non-existent child care cost tax credit. Here is the Bradley Bad Child Care Tax Credit Worksheet. First, it accepts the custodial parent's child support income as the parent's adjusted gross income. Since the child care cost tax credit uses the custodial parent's adjusted gross income to generate the percentage factor in the child care cost tax credit, any difference in the two incomes could affect the tax credit when there are 3 different percentages coming from differences in the adjusted gross income and the child support income. Second, as already shown, the Bradley system allows the non-custodial parent to deduct the child care cost tax credit from that parent's child care cost, but the tax code prohibits that deduction. Indeed, in this case, there is only one child that qualifies for the child care cost tax credit. But the Bradley Bad Child Support Calculator lets both parents claim it. Point 10 arises because the Bradley Bad Child Support Worksheet doesn't indicate which of the 3 possible allocations is the best: alternate, keep, or transfer. Pick an allocation and it reports nothing, the amount of the penalty, or the amount of the reward, but gives no insight as to the best allocation. Note that it never reports what adjustments are proper if the allocation selected is alternated, but surely there must be low-income custodial parent, high-income non-custodial parent pairing, where the custodial parent should be penalized for only alternating rather than making a full transfer. Similarly, there are examples where the alternating should be as a group every other year rather than a near as even alternating yearly, But the Bradley bad child support calculator ignores this possibility. The Bradley bad child support calculator also treats the child tax credit in a strange manner. First, it does not consider the 15% phase-in of the additional child tax credit starting at $250 monthly adjusted gross income. This can be a rather complex calculation, but even more important, the Bradley bad child support calculator can't distinguish between the actual adjusted gross income and inputted child support income, which usually applies in these low-income cases. This is the first page of the Bradley bad Child Support Worksheet, where the parent's adjusted gross income is over $6,250 and thus subject to the child tax credit 5% phase-out. Both parents are in the federal marginal tax bracket of 25% and Kansas marginal tax bracket of 4.9%. If mother keeps the personal exemptions and child tax credits, then child support is decreased and father's child tax credit of $2,000 is reduced by $7,500 minus $6,250 times 5% or $750. So the remaining annual $1,250 of the child tax credit is first reduced to $104.17 per month and then equally divided for a final $52.09 child support decrease from the child tax credit. Interestingly enough, if mother transfers them to father, then there is no phase-out for father even though mother's income is greater than $6,250. If mother alternates them, then there is neither a penalty nor reward. Exhibits 18, 19, and 20 are examples of how the Bradley bad tax considerations give the choices of penalty of $187.75 for keeping, reward of $219 for transferring, and nothing for alternating. But which of them is the best allocation? Furthermore, in this example, it reports that Harry should be paid spousal support of $81 since $5,000 minus $4,594 times 20% is $81.20. It appears to report the possible spousal support, even if you don't want that issue brought up. Also note that the calculation date of December 31st, 1899 in the last line of paragraph A, Court and Parties, makes me feel old. Thus, the Bradley bad child support calculator works just fine if you don't mind inaccurate child support, penalties, rewards, and offsets, mixing 2012 and 2013 federal income tax information. Always have each parent with the same adjusted gross incomes as child support incomes. Neither parent being self-employed. Unidentified cost of living adjustments that are not completely applied to the correct income all the time. Incorrect federal tax deductions if the non-custodial parent pays child care costs. No predictive determination of the best allocation. Always neutral on alternating as the best allocation. Penalties too low for the non-custodial parent and rewards too low for the custodial parent when the non-custodial parent has the higher income. Penalties too low for the non-custodial parent when the custodial parent has the higher income. No phase-in considerations for child tax credits and only phase-out considerations for child tax credits for the penalty calculation. Inability to add, a missing data field, and always reporting the amount of alimony. You get all of this plus allowing access to your computer system for only $420.